During this ongoing pandemic, there is a belief that long-term school closures and an abrupt transition to virtual learning may have had a disproportionate negative effect on children with special needs. Disruptions to daily routines are particularly stressful for children with autism. Ruth Azell shares the story of a young boy and his family and how he is thriving with the help of Easterseals.
What is this? Seahorse.
Seahorse, good job.
What is this? Turtles.
Good job.
Exchanges like this between 10-year-old Katie Jane Bean and her 8-year-old brother Benjamin warms the heart of their mother Marissa. That's because for years, Ben did not speak.
What's that? A puppy dog.
The St. Charles youngster has come a long way since being diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
Good job. You found orange and green stars. Yes, sir.
Autism is a complex developmental disability that affects the nervous system and typically appears in early childhood.
Is Katie gonna get you? Here she comes.
People on the spectrum face challenges with communication and social interaction and often display repetitive behaviors. Marissa Bean described what she noticed about her son within the first few weeks of Ben's life.
When babies are first born, they're very needy and you want to spend a lot of time snuggling. He didn't want to be held. He didn't want to be touched and cuddled. And within the first 6 months, he didn't babble. He didn't make eye contact and hold it with you like a lot of kids will do as they're typically developing.
As Ben got older, he received speech and occupational therapy. But it wasn't until an extensive evaluation conducted when Ben was 4 years old that he finally received an autism diagnosis. And that led to his mom and dad being referred to Easterseals Midwest and a special parent training course.
We learned about what it was, how to recognize it. We worked through a lot of different behaviors that each of our kids had. We had a trainer that we worked with directly with our child, and they would give us tips and, here's how you're supposed to do this. Here's the step-by-step instruction on how to teach and parent your child. You don't get a manual when your kids are born. No one ever says, oh, it's easy. Just do this, this, and this. With Easterseals, they broke it down to the point where it almost was easy because we did have a manual. And they put in so many supports for you that it's almost impossible not to have your child succeed at that point.
What is it like when you see with each step that you've made a little breakthrough?
It's Christmas every day. It's Christmas every day. The first time Ben made eye contact with me and said, Mama, I cried for 3 days. I didn't think we were ever going to get that. I didn't know if we were ever going to get that. I didn't know if we were ever going to have that kid who would sit on my lap and read a story with me. And now that's our favorite activity.
Autism experts say children on the spectrum often benefit from the consistency and continuity of being in school and interacting with classmates and teachers. Of course, that all came to an abrupt halt in the spring of 2020 when the pandemic forced teaching to go virtual. Luckily for Marissa and David Bean, their Easterseals parent training took place the year before, so they already had a toolkit to help their son cope during a period that left many young people, autistic or not, struggling. The training for parents is intensive, Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day for 2 weeks. Melanie Mills is Easterseals Director of Autism Services.
It's a very small program. We only take up to 4 families at a time because we want those families to get as much as they can out of it. We want it to be very individualized so they can ask as many questions about their particular situation and their family as possible. You want to know how to handle your child's behavior in your home with your family.
And the Bean family has tailored its approach to helping Ben be his best self.
There are times when I'm not on the same wavelength with Ben that Dad is, and Dad will come into the room and be like, buddy, what's up? And they just bro out, and they are best friends, and they are just so darn cute together. And they'll just sit, and it's funny, their mannerisms are almost identical. So when they're both really relaxed, and if we're watching TV or just having like down family time, I'll look over and they both have a hand behind their head and they're just chilling. And they are just the bestest of friends, and it's so, so sweet, and it's so cute. And there are definitely days that Dad comes in and saves the day, and Dad has hung the moon for Ben. He very much wants to be like Daddy and follow in Dad's footsteps and be this guy who's this, maybe my husband's a very larger than life character, 20 years in the Air Force, he's up for chief, he's just this big boisterous man, and then Ben comes in and he's like, yeah, let's do that. You know, so it's really fun to get the two of them in a room and back and forth. It's really silly. There are still times that Mom and Dad are like, what did he say? We call our daughter the little translator because she just gets him.
Say smiley face.
If he's getting really frustrated with us because we're just not getting what he wants, he'll look at Katie and be like, Katie, blah, 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 blah. Mom, he wants chocolate milk again. Oh, well, why didn't you just say that? You know, but it's really cute. They get along really well and they play together great.
Our main goal for this program is not to teach the parent how to be a therapist for their child. That's not what we want, because that's not really a parent's job. But we want them to know what good therapy is. We want them to know how to figure out what works for their child, and we want to empower them to be the best advocate that they can be for their child moving forward, because they're the ones that are going to be with them for the rest of their lives, not us. We want to be able to take a step back and let them be a family. That's what this program does. It really helps to empower the family as a whole.
For Living St. Louis, I'm Ruth Ezel.